hugely significant at the top of the table, and Arsenal dropping points for the third successive game, and Michael Carragher in his second game in charge, following up the victory over Manchester City with another prize scalp. But it didn't start the best for them.
No, it didn't, but I think they showed real courage with and without the ball, Manchester United, and we saw that last week as well on this show. We highlighted that. We just want to get into sort of the first two goals of the game. They've got a lot of similarities, really. And what you've got is, as a lot of teams do, but this back three with Zubamendi, a central midfield player, dropping in between the two centre-backs. It splits the centre-backs, which means Arsenal have a lot of rotation in terms of the players. So you have Zubamendi in that position, and then we see the positions of the full movement. But we're now going to look at a situation where Arsenal are building up here with a back three. And this time Timber's in the back three. We tend to see a little rotation differently, where Zubamendi can't get on the ball, so he now wants to get into the back three. And again, just a little bit of a rotation, a little bit of movement from players. But I think they let themselves down at times, Arsenal, and this is one of those occasions where we say that they're at times risk-averse. Now, for me, Zubamendi is a quality player, plays for Spain, technically one of the best midfield players in Europe. He should be able to play that ball there for Declan Rice between two Manchester United players, 15 yards. But again, they don't take that option. That happens a lot further up the pitch, actually, with Odegaard between the lines. I sometimes think he takes the safe option also. So that ball can be played in there. It now goes back to Saliba. But Bryan Mbeumo could easily stay there and make sure Gabriel doesn't venture up there with the ball. But again, they show courage without the ball, and they try and press there and stop that ball getting out. But now, because Declan Rice has made that run, Saliba's got no pass into midfield. He's made the mistake, but because Mbeumo's there and he showed the initial courage, he picks the ball up. If he was wider with Gabriel, he wouldn't be in that position initially. So credit to in the first clip. So what you've got now is a situation where Dorgu comes in off the line. Brilliant play with Fernandes, absolutely fantastic in a tight area. It's not handball, he gets a chance to shoot. But as we mentioned with Arsenal's fullbacks, the courage with the ball, sure. And Dalot, high up the pitch, 25 yards from goal. But also, it's not just them. There's now 6 players so close to the Arsenal goal. They're away from home against a team who are better than them, and it's 1-1 in the second half. That shows courage with the ball. So we've seen it off the ball, and we've seen it with the ball. And as we've seen some wonderful strikes a few minutes ago, that's right up there with the best of them.
What was key to that one, Jimmy, for Dorgu?
Well, he's positive. I think Bright, short link up. And then I think he doesn't think, he just do it. Just hits it. And he hits it so well that the goalkeeper has got no chance whatsoever. And Raya has been one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League.
We had a conversation in the studio after the game about bravery, and you've mentioned that from Manchester United's perspective, and whether Patrick Vieira was suggesting Arsenal could have been braver. But at 2-1 down, Mikel Arteta made a 4-man substitution, the quadruple change. Do you think that was a brave thing to do in that circumstance?
For me, I felt like they panicked a little bit. You know, 58 minutes, 4 substitutions. For me, too much. You know, yes, if you want to change things, get Odegaard off. You're now taking Zubamendi off. Yes, Zubamendi has made the mistake, but he's a big player. He's an important player. I suppose
the one thing you do is get more height on the pitch, which might lead to this situation, which Mourinho benefits from.
Yeah, but I would have liked them to see to control the game with the ball. I would have liked them to be calmer because it was still 32 minutes to go, and they have scored a magnificent goal. That can happen, Man United. That can happen. It wasn't like they played him really off the park and it was a 1v1 with the goalkeeper. It was a great strike. That can happen. They could come back into the game, calm the game down, control the game with two changes. Now, Declan Rice had to play as a pivot, what is not his best position. You want to keep him high up. I think it was too much for me, you know.
Do you know, it was a real surprise. It felt a big surprise in the stadium yesterday, Jamie, having got level that suddenly they would go and concede 2 minutes 58 seconds later with a team that are so big on control, with a coach who's so big on control. So what happened?
But I'm talking about courage again. Bringing Sesko on. I think he comes on for Dorgu. Dorgu's a wide player, you bring a centre forward on. Them centre-backs win everything. He keeps it alive. So that was courage from the manager bringing Sesko on, again, away at Arsenal. But when I talk about quality and courage as well, I'm going to look at actually 3 Manchester United players here up against, 6. That's a training session. The 6 players will never let the 3 players get out of there unless you're talking about real quality and almost genius to get out of there. Yeah. You put that session on as a coach, Jimmy, you'll know that as a coach, you're not getting out of there. But Manchester United do. And who's involved in it? Bruno Fernandes has been at the heart of everything since Carragher came in. And he has been with every United manager, but certainly in this number 10 position now. So you run it on here, and the football, as we saw with the Dorgo goal, is absolutely fantastic.
When you are going in the half turn and you're now running, you know, you just know the feeling is there. You just have to hit it with the inside of your foot as hard as possible. Hopefully it hits the park a little bit, it goes even harder, and the goalkeeper has got no chance. And that's what it is.
I think when Ruben Amorim lost his job, I said he's barely shown he's a competent Premier League manager in his time at Manchester United. So for a manager to come in, and Carragher's done brilliant, but to play players in the right position, ask certain things, show courage as Manchester United should, it would improve things, no doubt. But to beat Manchester City, to beat Arsenal away, is beyond his, and I'm sure every Manchester United supporter's wildest dreams.
I think it's helped that Steve Holland has come through as well, you know, with Carragher.
Someone you work with very closely.
Somebody I worked with very closely.
What influence will he be having on the team?
But Shaw and Maguire has worked with them. So they're seeing him coming through. It's a familiar face. They know how he works. They know what he's like. He will have made them more solid. He will have organised them with Carragher.
He's such a great guy, Michael. I've got so much love and respect for him. Him and Kieran McKenna and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer helped me so much in that period where they were at Manchester United, and I wish them nothing but the absolute best. And the 2 results that they've had have been amazing, especially for me to watch. I'm very, very proud of all the players, and long may it continue. And them games and the big ones against Arsenal, Man City are important, but sometimes it's the games that are not so easy away from home against newly promoted teams or teams of so-called lesser stature, which are probably just as important. So for me, I'm looking forward to watching them and continuing to do well and wishing them
2 goals, but again the forwards didn't contribute to those numbers, and this is their top scoring chart for the season, with Gyökeres and Trossard both with 5, and as much been talked about, own goals is joint 3rd top scorers. So let's have a look at the underlying numbers, and particularly around open play, because we know that Arsenal are so dangerous from set pieces. But there has been a trend with recent champions since these XG numbers have been collected. So over the last 4 seasons, Manchester City twice winning the league, and Liverpool winning the league last season with the highest open play XG per game.
A team at the top of the table who've been a top by 6 or 7 points, but if you were picking the best team in the Premier League so far, you wouldn't have one of their players in the front 4. That is not normal. That would never happen. The best team in the league would always have at least 1, maybe 2 players in the team of the season, and Arsenal don't have that right now. And that plays into the fact that they don't have a genuine superstar, as I said, at the top end of the pitch.
They've got to bounce back. Can they do it?
Carragher has thrown his weight behind Arsenal, but not without a clear warning. The former Liverpool defender insists the Gunners are still serious contenders, yet he's questioned whether their attack can deliver consistently across a long, demanding season. You won't win every week, Carragher stressed, pointing to moments where Arsenal's cutting edge has gone missing and small margins have started to matter. His comments have sparked debate among fans, with many wondering if Arteta's side have enough firepower to dominate both domestically and in Europe. All eyes now turn to the Kairat clash, a game that could either calm the noise or turn the volume right up. Arsenal will be expected to control proceedings, but Carragher's words hang in the air. This is about more than just one result. It's a test of ruthlessness, composure, and whether the Gunners can turn dominance into goals when it truly counts. With pressure building, the Kairat preview feels like a statement moment rather than a routine fixture.